Hey, thanks for coming by today. This is my second time filming this video. My battery said it had 2 bars and I got about 6 minutes in and this Canon G7X shut off. Probably a good thing. It was rambling. So I've noticed that, well, first let me tell you, if you're new here, I was laid off on my birthday last week and I decided to do a video every morning and talk about the previous day and just where I'm at mentally and stuff. And maybe it'll be a help to some other people, or maybe it's just help to me. Maybe it's something I can look back on and be like, see, that wasn't so bad. If you check the pinned comment, there will be a link to the playlist these are part of, so you can go back and watch the others if you want. So yesterday, I got a bunch of yard work done like I wanted to, and I'm going to clean the gutters today. But I told myself I wasn't going to apply to jobs until I finished this final and stuff for my degree. At the end of this semester, which is next week, hopefully I'll be at 62 credits, 20 years into my bachelor's degree. Final project for one of my classes should be fine. Without it, I would have like a C+. So I should do fine on that. It's the other class that worries me because the final's 30% of the grade and it's memorizing stuff like what amendment of the Constitution is this and what article is this and who did what in 1826 and whatever. I'll give it my best shot, right? So despite saying I wanted to apply to jobs, I applied to like 20 yesterday. And I realized I'm not qualified for any of them. None of them. The most analogous thing to what I did at my past job would be like data analytics, except I don't know R, I don't know Python, I don't know Tableau, I don't know Power BI, I don't know all of these other things that they want for manipulating that data. And all of those postings, every single one of them, wanted a minimum bachelor's degree. Several of them wanted a master's preferred, and then they wanted it in like computer science or some kind of math, statistics. The stuff's witchcraft to me. That was the least favorite part of the job I just got let go from. Like, it was neat, and I appreciate learning the SQL and stuff to go in and like manipulate the data. But what I liked about that job is I did like 20 different things. My past job that I was stuck at for 15 and a half years, which was supposed to be a temporary thing after having been unemployed for 13 weeks, I accepted it because it was the first thing, and then I got stuck there. And every year for like the last 10 or 12 years, I made less money because we didn't get a cost of living increase, and insurance went up, and inflation, and you know. And that job didn't give me a whole lot of skills. It gave me skills, but not ones you can quantify on paper with something that these employers want, like a degree or a certificate. It was more, I had 15 and a half years of rapidly visually processing data, and that's a skill that you can learn, but that takes time. You're training your brain. It's like training a neural network. You know, you are developing this ability to look at a sheet of information and rapidly, like instantly pick out, the pertinent information or the anomalous information or the errors, you know? So you can't really convey that on paper. But at my last job, what I was doing was just so varied, and it was awesome. I was learning stuff, and I needed that job to last like 3 or 4 years. You know, a friend introduced me to the CEO, and I got that job because they were willing to take a chance on me, because that friend was willing to take a chance on that company. He was an investor, and you know, that introduction like made me stand out, and it was going to be my chance, you know? Sorry. I've been on like the Beatlemania roller coaster of 1950s, 1960s, teenage, frenzied Yeah, emotional roller coaster. That job was going to be my chance. It was going to be my opportunity to learn. And I did learn a lot of stuff, but not enough. And I don't have enough paper experience from it because I was only there like 12 and a half months or whatever. And the parts of that job I liked were like going in and manually cleaning the data, and I would go in and just look for an issue, like manually, not write some query, which you have to know what you're looking for in advance so you can specifically tell it to give you that kind of stuff. Like I would just go in and just randomly look at stuff and be like, why is this like this? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Or, oh, something's wrong here. Let me dig into it. And that was fun. That was so fun. And I did other things like, we had, sorry, my allergies are bad in the mornings, and I did yard work yesterday. Like I would go in and we had like Zendesk and HubSpot and Dialpad and all these things, and they were all integrated. And like looking at those integrations was interesting, and seeing how the stuff flowed and why it was duplicating and deduping it. And I made my own like little tools to go in and dedupe stuff every day because some of it you just couldn't fix because of the way we had it integrated. And I would do that, first thing every morning. And then I was routing the mails for an industry box to all the other teams. And I was, making sure that departments were addressing tickets into Zendesk by going through and just looking at old tickets and being like, hey, the person that was working this doesn't work here anymore. Was this resolved? Oh, hey, here's 15. I think something broke in the way we were routing them. Would your team look into this? And, like I was doing that. And I was sitting in product design meetings and giving feedback based on my own experience from playing around on the product. Like, there for a while, I was the expert on the data in our product because I went through it all. And because I went through it all, I was going through it both on, the database, the table side, and by going through it in the product. So I was basically our in-house expert on experience with using the product, and I could offer all these insights on the UI and why is this like this, and why can't I search by zip code, and why isn't this search persistent? So like when I click on her name and it turns out it's the wrong one because there's 12 John Smiths that have a CDL, and I go back, then I got to start again, and I got to remember how many of those down I clicked, and I can't right-click and open a new, stuff like that. And, like, I could just message the CEO and be like, hey, why are we doing this like this? This seems dumb. And then it would be like, oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? And then, we could look at that. Or I was like, hey, I see a competitor's doing this. What if we did something like this? And then that was valued and looked at, and I was getting to learn all kinds of stuff. Next quarter, I was going to get to, next quarter I was going to get to start doing like risk analysis, and that was going to be cool because my boss had done that for years at Stripe, and I was going to learn so much from him and get to like work on it with him. And speaking of, like, the people I worked with there are my favorite employees ever. I've even been texting my boss since I was let go. Like, his days are numbered too. He's just helping him transition stuff, and then he's out. And I told him he's one of my top 5 people I've ever worked with. And I can't rank those top 5 people beyond them being the top 5, but he's hands down in it. Like, we had so much fun. Like, just working on stuff or just talking about non-work stuff. But even working on stuff, we had so much fun. And we had, like, little inside jokes in our mode accounts. Like, like he would do funny puns in his notebooks and stuff. And, it was just fun. And so I'm not qualified for any of these, like, data analyst things. And I don't know how to describe or how to find a job that's even remotely close to what I was doing. For sure, I was doing some data analysis and some data manipulation, but I wasn't a data analyst. I certainly wasn't a data scientist. Like, it doesn't even hold any interest to me. Data analysis doesn't necessarily hold an interest to me because I don't know that I want to learn all those other things, and I don't really care about statistics. I'm not the best person with math. Like, I failed pre-algebra twice in high school. That's my highest math is pre-algebra. And sure, my wife teaches math for a living, and she could always help me, but it just doesn't interest me. Like, I like getting in there and tinkering with things and digging around and experimenting and why is this like this and asking questions. And you know, I have my green belt, my Six Sigma green belt. My certificate's right there in the refrigerator, and I was acting as our scrum master for the past several months for our data team, and I was also doing stuff, you know, creating reports and dashboards, and I like doing stuff like that. But how am I ever going to find a place that's going to give me a chance when they want a degree or a master's degree, and they want you to know one of these data analyst roles that I looked at wanted a master's degree preferred, bachelor's degree minimum, and it wanted you to know not one of these, but all of these are Python, C#, and some other language. Plus it wanted like 5 years of experience with like Power BI, Tableau, and something else. And it wanted like 5 to 10 years of industry experience. And it's like, I don't stand a chance with that, especially when I had like 300 something applicants, according to LinkedIn, plus who knows how many on their website. So I'm not doing good. Last night sucked. Like, once I started realizing this, and this morning just sucks. And I think this is the longest one of these yet, and I doubt you're listening, but guys, I'm worried. Like, am I gonna find a job where I'm happy, a job where I'm excited, and a job that even remotely pays what I was making? Like, am I even going to be able to make what I was making at FedEx, which honestly wasn't enough? Like, in 4 more weeks, do I have to just go, okay, I'm going to Taco Bell and McDonald's and Walmart, and the first one to give me a job? And then do I get stuck there for 15 and a half years like I did at FedEx? As I continue to not get documentable, verifiable skills other than maybe my degree, and at my current rate my bachelor's degree is going to take another 2.5-3 years, and that's if I'm not working like retail or fast food because I gotta pay the bills and I'm working 2 jobs, you know. I don't know. If you guys know of anything, like, let me know. My LinkedIn is going to also be in that sticky comment. Yeah, I've gone on 12 and a half minutes. I doubt anybody's made it this far. I would watch this far, but I'm a strange creature that likes to watch people on YouTube. Yeah. So I'm going to clean some gutters today and study for my final, and probably get depressed by applying to more jobs. Yeah. If you're still here, thanks for coming by. And if you're struggling with something, let me know in the comments. Maybe we can be there for each other. Even if this is in the future, let me know. Hopefully there's not too many more of these videos, but realistically there's probably going to be months of them. So yeah, try to have a good day wherever you are.